I was really hoping that like keeping them home from school and wiping the floorboards would like really bring pain.
Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Sesh. Today we are talking about a family that I have made a video on once before that since I last talked about them have increasingly gotten worse in the public's eye. I'm talking about this family channel called 8 Passengers. The mom Ruby and the dad Kevin have vlogged their 6 kids for the last couple years. Ruby also has several siblings who also make videos, and I honestly spent a lot of time years ago watching 2 of her siblings post with their own families, and I honestly really loved one of them who is vlogging her fertility journey. The videos were so good and I love their little family, and I started to hear about Ruby's channel more and more over the last few years when people started to get weirded out by some of her parenting choices and some of her videos. She was getting called out for filming her kids even though some of them would ask not to be on camera. She talked openly about sending her eldest son to a wilderness behavioral camp for several months because he was talking back and acting out. She's been called out for like taking her kids' beds away as punishment for things like pranking each other and things that people found were normal kid and sibling behaviors. She would punish them for and would talk about it on camera, and thus led to a ton of criticism of her online. She has millions of subscribers, and people outside of those subscribers started hearing about what she was doing and things that she would say, and people were honestly fascinated by the whole thing. Like, they just could not believe some of the choices that she was making, and I mean, obviously fascinated, not in the best way. And it's not just like her choices, her husband's choices as well. People were always talking about the two of them, and clips of her just talking have just been circulating all over TikTok, and I finally figured I would make a video since it's been a while, and I just keep seeing people call her out. Recently, people were talking about this video that she made addressing anxiety, saying anxiety is a choice.
Anxiety, as horrible and debilitating as it feels, you still have choice.
There's so many people that post random clips saying things like, "This is so sad," and "I could not imagine being in this family." People are just constantly posting things from her videos in total shock of what she's been saying. Another video she posted where she was dropping off her eldest daughter at college, people were like, what the heck? Because she only seemed concerned with losing control over her daughter and not like actually missing her or like her moving out of the house for the first time.
I just keep saying she's like 12 minutes away. And I work here, so
I know. For me, it's not the distance or the time. I don't have that stewardship over her the way I have. Now that she's moving out and she's been on her own, I can feel that stewardship, that revelation on her behalf it's like this mantle of power that I've had on behalf of my child. I can feel it lifting.
A lot of people reacted to this video saying, literally, who says this about their child? The fact that she says this out loud and doesn't think anything of it is insane to me. The girl's 18, let her live her life. The fact that she willingly admits that. Stewardship is a funny way to say control. The mantle of power over my child. What? Whoa, yeah, no, this isn't healthy. Love how she basically says, I'm not going to miss her, I'm going to miss having power over her. I know Ruby has her lawyers on lock, and she has that block button ready to go at all times. So I'm just here to say this is all stuff that I've been seeing online. We're just having an open conversation about the things that I've been seeing circulating all over my For You page, videos that I've seen popped up recommended to me, and I just keep hearing more and more and more about this family. So I'm here giving you guys the info, seeing how you guys feel about it, because it seems like a lot of people are very, very unhappy seeing clips and hearing things that Ruby and her husband Kevin are saying. And you guys might have a different opinion, but Ruby seems pretty aware of the hate that she's been getting, especially recently. She said that she's cut back on videos. She said that she used to post 6 videos a week, and now over the years, like, she's kind of decreased that and is now posting 3 videos a week. And in the most recent situation that people have brought up, people literally cannot believe like this new thing that she's getting canceled for, basically. And it is that she's decided to cancel Christmas for her younger 2 kids. So she has 6 kids and she decided she was going to cancel Christmas for the last 2, and she felt like she was going to get hate for it too.
I'm so triggered by this, and quite frankly, I'm scared to share this because knowing people these days, I don't know if people are gonna, how they're gonna respond.
People feel that the punishment doesn't line up with her reasonings that her husband and her gave, and these kids will end up resenting her and her husband later on in life. I mean, you guys, someone literally left a comment saying in 30 years from now, your Christmas present will be the retirement home as you deserve. Like, oh my gosh. And somebody also said, kids are gonna need years of therapy. Ouch. Literally, ouch. But that's why we're talking about it, because I just can't believe like all this stuff that is happening, and she's still so open online about her parenting despite all of this criticism. You would think that some of the criticism would cause either like a change or her wanting to be more private, but no, I mean, she's still posting and she's still talking about parenting, posting her kids and all that. It seems like the only change is that she's like not posting videos about her daughters getting their periods, because people were really uncomfortable about that like a couple years ago. And a lot more people in the recent times have just been really upset with family channels in general, feeling like they're using their kids for content, they're making an income off of their kids, and their kids aren't a part of like a union. Usually as a child actor or actress, you have rights, you have like certain times when you can be working and times where you have breaks and all this stuff. And since YouTube is so new, there's not any like regulation for anything regarding like kids being on camera. So in the recent times, not just like with Ruby's kids, it's a lot of kids in general on this platform that people have just been like worried and wondering like how they're all going to grow up and if they're being compensated properly for mostly being the star of a lot of these channels. So in regards to the Christmas situation, this is the situation that a ton of people have been talking about in the last couple weeks. Obviously Christmas already passed, but this is still like a very big conversation. I was on their channel and looking in their comment section. A lot of the comment section is turned off on most of their videos, but some of it is still there, and most of the comments are still talking about this entire Christmas situation because people cannot believe this stuff. It's a big conversation, not just on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram. People literally call her Ruby Doo. Also, you guys, they do not like her. So people were absolutely stunned finding that she was canceling Christmas for her kids, saying it was so cruel. And before I hear, well, not everyone gets a Christmas, that's true, but people felt like her kids were also her employees and they're like not getting a paycheck, and she can't even like let them experience getting a gift for like all their hard work that they've had to do like all year for the channel. And also felt like the reasonings that she gave for the punishment just made no sense and felt like she could have done it a different way. So Ruby and Kevin spoke at their virtual couples workshop. They have like a channel that posts their couples workshops. This one was about how they are not going to be letting their younger two children celebrate Christmas. They're under 10 years old, and they claimed that they have been very selfish, these two kids, and they need a major wake-up call in life, and they need to experience something major to snap them out of this selfishness. So they told them that their 4 siblings would be getting a visit from Santa, but not them.
The 2 youngest are showing long patterns of selfishness through their choices, their unwillingness to repent, their unwillingness to feel sorrow over some pretty egregious choices that they've made. Kevin and I have decided that we are going to give the gift of truth to them this year for Christmas. So we sat down with them and we told them that this year they are not going to be visited by Santa. Christmas morning, their 4 older siblings will be getting Christmas presents to open, and that they will have the gift of love from their dad and I.
And in further explanation, the father, Kevin, described why they're using Christmas as a punishment. He said that he has become so disgusted with the fact that love at Christmas time is equated to gifts, and it's just disgusting to him. And him and Ruby are giving their kids the most love through the best gift of all, which is self-reflection and getting nothing on Christmas besides just like love from their parents. And he wished that he had gotten that as a child because he has like his own issues like with gift receiving and stuff.
I watch all these Christmas shows that I used to just love because I'd feel all warm and fuzzy. And this year I watch them and I'm like, oh, gross. Because warm and fuzzy in the show was always about at the end, the kid just got whatever they wanted. Love looks like your kid gets that big thing. Love looks like the magical Christmas, and the magical Christmas is more. Buy more. Big boxes, big red bows. That's love. If you love your children, that's what you're going to do. The focus has been removed entirely from what love really is. The greatest gift that I could have received, going back to my experiences that I shared as a child, would have been an outcome, a Christmas just like the one Ruby described, where I had all of those fears and all of those distractions taken away, and I was forced to come face to face with the fears that I had. That would have been loving. That would have been tender. Maybe it would have broken the cycle that ravaged my life.
Which people noted in the comments that they felt like he was getting like a whole other reason for like why they were not getting gifts, and that this seemed to be a personal issue and really had nothing to do with what Ruby was talking about, why they weren't getting gifts. Because you can get kids gifts and teach them to like not be ungrateful like at the same time, like teach them appreciation, like you get what you get and you don't get upset. Is that not a saying that people say anymore? He says, in his own experience as a child, he looked at Christmas as this gift-giving time, and gifts made him happy, and if he didn't get a gift that he wanted, he would be so pissed, and said that even as an adult married to his wife, if she got him a lousy gift, he would take it out on her and be passive-aggressive about it and be like rude about it, and he doesn't want his kids to think that same way. He doesn't want them to think that gifts equal love, so they're just like not getting anything for Christmas as a lesson to not be selfish and appreciate life.
And there were times where I got things that I didn't want, like socks or underwear. I knew everything on my list, and if I didn't get it exactly what I wanted, I would either have an angry outburst or I would be pouty and passive aggressive for days, all the way up into adulthood, until I married Ruby. And then Christmas in her tradition was all about the kids. And I still had the expectation that Christmas was about me getting everything I wanted. So as an adult, when Christmas would roll around and I'd get a pack of socks and that was my Christmas present, I was ticked. I felt cheated, and I would take it out on Ruby. I would be angry. I would be passive aggressive. I would make snide little comments. That's where your son is heading.
Like, she's saying that they just been acting out and like being rude to like their teachers and stuff, and this is like a punishment that like would really hurt them and make them want to change. And he's like talking about how he doesn't want them to learn that gifts equal love. And it's confusing because they're giving the other kids gifts, and it's obviously because they feel like those other kids were like good. People kind of understand what he's saying, but feel like with his general thought process, the whole family should just kind of go through like the same understanding instead of just leaving two kids out, especially when one of them is like 6 years old. Like, how is a 6-year-old supposed to understand like, oh, my other siblings are getting gifts, but like my parents aren't getting me one, and I'm just supposed to think like they still love me? People think that that's just like not gonna process. People feel it's just so unfair and think that these kids are actually really good and they're just like really strict parents, and a lot of things that she has described as horrible behaviors in the past, people have commented them just being normal kids, like throwing a tantrum or pranking each other, and just like normal sibling things that are just like absolutely criminal and selfish in their eyes. And she says that she's even tried to punish these two prior to taking Christmas away by keeping them home from school and making them clean the floorboards of the house instead of going to school. And she thought that that was going to be a punishment, but instead they thought that was fun. You know, staying home from school is fun, which I think a lot of kids like don't really like school. So that doesn't really seem like a punishment to a lot of kids. And she got upset because she thought that was a punishment. So she felt like they needed to take a stronger course of action and take away Christmas away. So they really realized like, oh, this is painful. Like, maybe I should change my actions.
So up until now, I was really hoping that like keeping them home from school and wiping the floorboards would like really bring pain. Like, oh my gosh, I really want to change this behavior that I've been exhibiting. And it wasn't painful for them. They're like, oh yay, we get to stay home from school and clean floorboards. This is kind of fun. It's like, so, you know, they've had these visceral experiences, you know, and they haven't affected them. It's because they're so numb. And so the more numb your child is, the greater experience, the bigger the outcome. They need to wake them up. The biggest leverage that a little child has is probably Santa Claus.
It's weird to people in the comments that the dad can just sit there and say even into adulthood Christmas meant so much to him and like getting gifts meant so much to him, yet he's willing to like strip that from his kids knowing how much it meant to him. So people have been very, very loud in the comment section about this whole thing, saying Children deserve Christmas presents. Punishment is not the answer to misbehaving children. It's the lazy way out of not teaching them. The nerve she had to take Christmas away from the people who actually pay the bills and afford them the dream lifestyle they live. Please, can someone give the two youngest some Christmas presents? Poor kids. I feel so bad for Eve and Russell. Not having Christmas presents, there is other ways of teaching your kids selflessness than making them watch your other kids open presents. Nah, I'm sorry, it's Christmas. Everyone deserves presents. Russell and Eve are literally kids. Of course they're gonna be naughty sometimes. So cruel. So clearly people are very, very upset about this. I definitely want to know what you guys think about this because yeah, there's just a lot of things that people are saying about this. Obviously Christmas passed and we're in the new year, but I mean, it's still all over my For You page and people are still in their comment section like, I can't believe you didn't let them have Christmas, da 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 da. So let me know how you guys feel about this. Do you guys agree with what they're doing? Do you guys think it's like, you know, a good parenting move? You know, I'm really up to hearing anybody's opinions down below. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.